Good afternoon, good morning, boa tarde, buenos dias. I'm here today with Christina Colling, the Director of Sales of Caiman in Pantanal, this amazing refuge or safari lodge. It's hard to put a name on it. So Christina, we are delighted to have you with us. I'm delighted to see so many of our friends joining the webinar today. And Christina, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the beautiful introduction, Dominique. Greetings from Brazil, everybody from Pantanal. I'm so happy that I have this opportunity to show a little bit about Pantanal and about Caiman for you. So it's, first of all, it's impossible to talk about Caiman without speaking a little bit about the Pantanal. Yes? So Pantanal is the largest flood plain in the world. It's also known as the biggest wetlands in the world. So you see this map from Brazil, the green area is Pantanal, and the yellow one is Caiman, this private property inside Pantanal. It is important to know that Pantanal is also a World Heritage Site from UNESCO. Okay, and this property, and just to have an idea of proportions, of size, just Caiman is 10% smaller than Singapore. So imagine how big is Pantanal if Caiman it's only 10% smaller than Singapore. Okay, so our property, 20% of our property, a private property, as I told you, it's transforming to a legal reserve. What it's, thanks God, now mandatory by law in Pantanal, but over 10% of this property was transformed into a private reserve. Okay, it was an owner's initiative, and what it means, a reserve of natural patrimony. It means that whatever can happen with Caiman in the future, this will be a perpetual legacy of the Pantanal biome. Okay, so and that's why all the guests, they pay an environmental contribution when they visit Caiman. This is in order to preserve this area, as well all the conservation works that we do there. And well, what makes Pantanal being so rich in wildlife? Actually, during the year, we have different landscapes. So it's a destination that you can visit 4 times, at least, in a year and see totally different landscapes. And one thing that it's really important to understand the wetlands, the Pantanal, is when you see a road map, the latitude that cross Pantanal is the same one that cross Botswana, so Okavango Delta. So if you don't know Brazil, and if you never heard about Pantanal, so I think you could imagine something like that, because we have all this movement of water. You know, we have the wet season, that it's also called green season, because all the nature is so green. And then we start with the intermediate season, where it's really, really good to see the birds, different kind of birds. And then this landscape so green becomes like a savanna. Is when we have the dry season. And then in the dry season is the season that is the perfect one from the mammals to run all around, especially the big mammals. And then we start with a rainy season and all of this water movement. That makes Pantanal be a truly paradise for wildlife observation. I have to share with you that over 500 different species of mammals, birds, reptiles were already sighted just at Caiman, not the entire Pantanal. And as in the Africa, they have their big fives. Do you know that we have our big fives in Pantanal too? I'm going to tell you who they are. We have, first of all, here the deer, the Pantanal deer, that is quite different from the Canadian one, I have to say, because here we have a very warm environmental. We have also the giant anteater, which you can see only in Brazil. That is one of the biggest mammals of South America, the tapir. Also, you can see the capybaras that only exists in Brazil as well. And of course, the jaguar. Yes, the jaguar is in the top of. And Caiman is this 53,000 hectare true conservation oasis inside Brazil that was founded 37 years ago with the main purpose to conserve, to preserve the fauna, the flora, and all the culture, all the traditions from Pantanal area. So where we are located? Well, one of the main gates of Brazil is São Paulo. Yeah, I think it's one of the main entrance hub, as well as Brasília could be one. And we are located in Mato Grosso do Sul, in central Brazil. So from São Paulo, it's very easy to reach because there is many options of direct flights that belongs kind of 1 hour, 1 hour and 20 minutes, 1 hour and a half maximum trip, okay? And you can access Caiman by car or by plane. By car from Campo Grande, for instance, it is like 3 hours and a half, but we have a land strip inside the property where small planes like caravans, Seneca's can land there, you know, and then you have only a 50-minute, 40-minute trip to reach Caiman. And I would really suggest at least one way with the access by plane, because you can see the Pantanal from above. That is quite beautiful, okay? And one thing that I'm very proud to tell you is that Caiman, this private property, was and still is a pioneer in develop a sustainable system that has 3 pillars, 3 vital cores. So first of all, it's about the livestock. All the culture of Pantanal comes from the cattle ranch. Yes, like in Texas, but with some difference, of course. And there are many farms that have the livestock, the cattle ranch, and we still have at Caiman. At the same time that we offer the ecotourism for all the guests that want to visit us, at the same time that we host NGO initiatives, NGO organizations that works with conservation. And then when you visit Caiman, you have the opportunity to see that each one contributes to each other, okay? So talking about conservation, nowadays there are three nonprofit organizations that we host in Caiman. And actually, our guests can interact and contribute with the ecotourism with 2 of them. Well, first of all, the first one that I'm going to tell, it's about the Hyacinth Macau Institute or the Blue Parrot Institute, okay? I'm quite passionate about their work, you know. This NGO institution was founded by a woman called Neva Guedes, a PhD, a biologist, that was really concerned about the endangered situation that the blue parrots or the hyacinth macaw, that is the scientific name, was 30 years ago. Imagine that this beautiful bird that lives only in Brazil and now a little bit in South America, they are going to Argentina a little bit as well, they could disappear 30 years ago. And she was so touched about this, and she started to do a work, and then have volunteers, and then she started at Caiman. Now she acts in a lot of farms around Pantanal, and in 30 years with all this, and I can say hard work, and it's always a tentative because she didn't know, there was no protocol how to do. So about observation studies, she developed a system that she in 30 years, triple the size of the species that are no longer on the list of endangered species, but now is in the vulnerable stage. So our guests, when they visit Caiman, they can, it's not mandatory, they can pay a donation and go on a tour and see in the fields what this beautiful team does to preserve the hyacinth macaw, visit the nests, and so on. Another nonprofit organization that's very well known nowadays, it's called Onça Safari or Jaguar Safari, if you translate to English. Onça Safari started 12 years ago in Caiman, trying, and that time was just a trying to habituate the jaguars to the safari vehicles. Very inspired what they do in Africa, And okay, so Mario Haberfeld, the founder of Onça Safari, it's a very close friend from Caiman's owner, and then Caiman's owner said, okay, I will open my property and let's see. Because 12 years ago, the sighting rate was about 2%, 1%, because even if a car had the opportunity to meet a jaguar, what should they do, Should it be close or not? So they started this habituation work. Nowadays on Safari has much more. It's much more than just habituation of the jaguars. But what I'm very proud to share with you, that's nowadays, Caiman is currently considered the best place to spot jaguars by land. And nowadays, the sighting rate, it's 98%. So it's really difficult. It's always a safari. Safari, it's real life. There's no zoo or nothing, to see. So it's the nature that give all the commands here. But it's really, really difficult for a guest not to see at least a jaguar during a safari experience at Caiman. And it's because of this beautiful work with all the conservation work we do there. So how can you stay and see all the things at Caiman? Nowadays, our main lodge is called Casa Caiman or Caiman House, yes. It's very cozy. There are only 18 rooms, and we want to be small, even though we are this huge property. We want to be small and exclusive. That is our main purpose. And we have also a private villa called Baiazinha, or the Little Bay, because it's in front, a permanent bay. And remember the size, all the proportions of Pantanal and also Caiman property. When I have the lodge, Baiazinha, it's almost 9 kilometers far away from Casa Caiman. So it's totally apart with independent service, It's an exclusive lodge for to host a small group in a very private. So this is an aerial view of Casa Caiman. You will notice there is a fence surrounding Casa Caiman, and of course, nowadays, with 98% of sighting rate, of jaguar sighting rate, let's agree, nobody would be comfortable to walk here and go to the swimming pool or go to this room or that room during the evening, yes? So nowadays, all the guests can walk freely here, yes, and enjoy the swimming pool and all the areas between the game tours. And Casa Caiman, it's very cozy, you know. It's a complex that has the old house of the owners where they used to spend their time in Caiman, with the first farmhouse that was built in the fifth years, and it was the time that the English was the owner of this property before this Brazilian family. So this is the original building where everything started. So between the game tours, all the guests can enjoy different areas, enjoy nice cocktails, bar, you know, to relax a little bit, to join the swimming pool. Yes, like Botswana, it's very warm and it's very humid as well. The hammocks, we have also, nowadays, we built a gym because it's so crazy. You have all this space, but you can't just run freely there. So people, it's even more aware about, you know, about health. And then we built this fitness studio that all with windows, so you can see all the nature from there as well. And we offer 18 beautiful suites, very spacious ones that offer a lot of comfort after a day of safari adventure around Caiman. Okay, and 18 suites in 3 different categories. And we have also our private Villa Baiazinha that offers 6 rooms, and we can host a group until 12 people, and it's available only for buyouts for a small group. And here you have all the structure, you have all the hotel service, you have the own swimming pool for the guests, you have a dedicated host, a private vehicle to this group, as well as a pair of guides. And it's important to notice that because we offer this structure for a buyout, in Baiazinha, we can accept children of all ages, okay? It doesn't mean that we offer special services for small children, but as a buyout, families can have small children, you know, younger children with them. In Casa Caiman, it's important to remember we accept children from 8 years old or more. And in Baiazinha, we have 6 rooms, can be double, can be twin, with all the comfort as well we offer at Casa Caiman after a day of adventures. That is air conditioning, of course, ceiling fans, private toilets, everything that can host very well. And we offer a very we offer a complete schedule and a complete experience for our guests. So our daily rates includes 2 tours per day, okay, as well full board, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some snacks that are served during the gaming tours. So day and night safaris we offer. Our vehicles can host maximum of 8 people sharing the same car. We offer also Canadian canoe trips that we really like to offer during the sunset time. And I have to say that the sunset in Pantanal is quite special, quite beautiful and colorful. We can offer also some hiking tours included. Hiking tours always in a group. It's a way that you can see and discover in the nature more about the animals' habits, as well to know a little bit more about the flora and culture of Pantanal. And of course, all tours are accompanied by 2 guides. One is a bilingual one in English and Portuguese, always English and Portuguese, and a native guide that it's like the ranger in the African safaris that we can compare. It's someone that was born and raised in Pantanal, and by all these habits, he can discover and found wildlife and so on. And also, we can offer extra tours if guests want, besides the included ones. They can be bird watching. Yes, we have more than 300 different species just of birds sighted in Caiman. So yes, it's an extra tour. And also horse riding. And I can tell you that horse riding in Pantanal, in the wetland, it's a beautiful experience. It's a must, I can tell you. And of course, during the riding horse, there is a pause with a surprise for all the guests that want to do this tour, this activity. And also are included special moments. And these special moments are always surprise. Sometimes is 1, sometimes 2. Remember, nature decides everything here. So every time that we see that, oh, what a beautiful night today, so let's do an astronomy night. So we can offer different surprises. So Dominique is going to share a video with you that you can see. You can have the opportunity to have an overview about the things I just told you.
Thank you very much, Christina. So what a beautiful video. I don't know if everybody could enjoy the music. And it's definitely great. Thank you very much, Christina, for this amazing presentation. Let's see.
Thank you.
Question. Marion wants to know, when out on a safari, how many vehicles do you see? Does it feel like an intimate experience?
Well, for an intimate experience, I would suggest you the private villa by Azinha. And in Casa Caiman, we have 5 vehicles that offer for maximum of 40 guests. So when we are fully booked, we have 8 people by car. And we always, our team always is concerned about to have like people from Brazil in a car and people from abroad in another car. We always try to organize like that.
Maybe, Marion, what you were asking, if there is other vehicle from other places around, or you feel your 5 vehicles are going maybe together.
No, they go, we have this huge property, and every time they go from different ways, you know. It's important, yes, because even though for wildlife observation, it would be very bad. It won't be nice, you know. And of course, the last vehicle, oh my God, all the dust, you know, all the land would come in the last car, would be horrible. No, so we have different, and like in Africa, it's important to say, when one of the vehicles has a very interesting sighting, they call by radio to other vehicles in order if they want to come as well. So it's the same thing.
You see, Marion, maximum, there is 5 vehicles, but they all go in their own direction. So it's very intimate with your group of maybe 8 people, but that's definitely an intimate experience. And you can also privatize it completely. Sherry wants to know more about the Canadian canoe tour. I think what you call the Canadian canoe is maybe because the canoe is from Canada. I don't know.
Yes, let me explain why the Canadian boat is there. It's because it's the safest one, you know. In this bay, you're gonna have a lot of caimans, or what it means, a lot of caimans, alligators, yes, as well some piranhas, you know. People can fish there. No, people can't fish there. But when you're there and you are in a Canadian canoe, so never in 36 years, nobody fell down the bay.
I didn't know that, actually, that these Canadian canoe were the strongest. Interesting.
It's not the strongest, but it's
More
very
balance, the more
exactly
more secure. Wow, in 30 years, no one fell out of the canoe, so that's a way to go. Werner, you want to know what time of the year is the best for jaguar sighting and macaws? So I know the answer, but Christina, go for it.
Yes, the dry season is always, it was normally, of course, because imagine the wetlands like a savanna. So yes, in order to look for water and so on, so it's the season that, let's say, it would be easier, yes, to see. But there's one thing that I have to tell. We, after 36 years, and with all the conservation work we do, and also with this amazing work of on safari as well, when I say 98% as a sighting success rate, I have to tell you that since December, November 2021, all guests saw a jaguar in the property. I can guarantee, no, I can't. It's but always the nature.
98%.
But all this conservation work has this result. So when I say 100% saw since the end of 2021, it means also the green season, the rainy season, you know. So this is a privilege. But of course, dry season, and especially when you think about all the Pantanal around, because there is much more, it's easier. I can say you have more,
is it like for the
more
other
chances.
Christina, for the Macao, is it like the intermediate season?
The Macao you can see every day. Sometimes you are, you know, laying just chilling by the pool, and then you see a tree with 4 pairs of macaws.
4 pairs.
Sometimes you just open your terrace and you see, you're gonna see almost every day. But if you are going to see almost every day, it's because of this beautiful work that the Hyacinth Macau Institute have been done in Pantanal. You know, so for you that want to see, just go to Caiman and for sure you're gonna see.
Hélène said it's a great opportunity, wonderful, I must say. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Hélène. Marion, do you need to worry about the crocs while canoeing? But we explained that nothing to worry. In 30 years.
Nothing to worry about. And I have to tell you that the caimans are not like the crocodiles in Africa, you know. The crocodiles in Africa are much bigger. And yes, they are much more dangerous. I never, in 37 years, nobody was attacked by a caiman, you know. And remember, all the food is there, you know, because you have all the animals. It's just the natural environment, you know, it's preserved there. So these caimans are smaller than the crocodiles, and when they see us, they are afraid of us because we are much bigger than them.
One day when we have more time, I will explain. I've done the canoe, I've done the crocodile, but I've done something with the crocodile as well. And I realize I don't have any more fear because exactly what you say. And you know, I spent
the first time I was like, oh my God. But nowadays, no.
No, it's so Diane, you said fabulous. Karen, you want to know if the saddle for riding are English or more Texan? What type of saddle do you have? The riding saddle for riding horses. I think you have the Texan one, huh? You know, the one, not the English.
No, they are very how can I say, very calm. All the horses were trained because all
the saddle. I'm talking about the saddle.
About
the saddle. Have you looked? Saddle. You know where you sit on when you're on the horses?
Yes.
You have the
no, it's a Pantaneiro style. It's from Pantanal. It's from the cowboys.
Voilà, exactly. So that's what I said.
All the culture from Pantanal comes from the cattle, the livestock. And there is a Pantaneiro way to do that.
Right. Yeah. Hélène wants to know how far is a private villa from the main area. You said 9 kilometers. Does it has his own chef and staffing, but still can use the main facilities?
Yes, you have the full service in the private villa. You know, it's important to notice that there is no cellular phone signal in Caimans, as well as 5G or 4G. So there is only the Wi-Fi in Baiazinha and Casa Caiman, as well as the radios. So in Baiazinha, always there is a host that organizes everything for the Baiazinha's guests, has radio communication and with all the property. And then when you came back for the safari, breakfast is ready. If you go really, really early in the morning, you know, you can have something, you know, just a snack. And then when you come, truly breakfast. And if you enjoy the swimming pool, if you want to see the view, because all the villas, it's a big window. So I used to say that it's a natural National Geographic, you know, it's an alive National Geographic there. So you can see and enjoy the swimming pool. You can rest and see, and everything is there. You have everything, all the services with private vehicle and a private pair of guides.
So Marty would like to know if all the vehicles off-roading or must they stay on the roads?
No, they are off-road, all of them.
All of them, huh? Karen,
because many of the wildlife sightings are very nice during the off-road.
Karen wants to know how many lodges in the area. So do you have any, not competition, but is there other lodges and how many of them?
Well, I have no idea for how many.
You're in your own territory.
But yes, because it's huge, Pantanal, but there are few ones, yes, but totally different from Caiman. By now, I'm
not at the level for international clientele, huh? Not yet.
not really. Maybe you can find a staff that doesn't speak English and so on.
Yeah. Ellen wants to know how much is a full buyout per night. So I guess the buyout of by Daisinia, Ellen, you want the villa or the buyout of the whole place? Let us know.
No, the buyout is just by Yazinha.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, if somebody wanted
Yes, we can do a buyout of the whole property, see, because there is only 18 rooms in Casa Caiman, and then the private villa. So yes, they can like sleep in different lodges, but have lunch and everything together, you know. So yes, you can do a complete buyout.
Ellen wants to know the buyout pricing for the villa only. So how much is it?
Okay, for the villa, it's around, it's just a buyout, so it's kind of $8,000 per night.
For how many guests maximum?
12 guests maximum.
Voilà. And all-inclusive style with the safari and the food and everything. Yeah?
Yes, the extra would be beverages like alcoholics.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to know if there is other people from the other lodge on safari on your property, but no, if not, you would know about the other lodge, huh?
No, it's because we want the privacy of our guests, of course. It's a private property as well, so and you know, the distance is in Pantanal, so we don't have this intention. We don't want to have the use, and it's also not possible, but we don't like. The idea is to be a true oasis, very exclusive for the guests.
And very private. Huh? So
yes.
Hope would like to know if what is the difference between the South Pantanal, where Caiman is, and the North Pantanal, that she said she doesn't know. And
yes, that is.
I understand.
Yes.
Also, some jaguars are colored on the on safari knows where these jaguars are, and where and I was there 4 nights and was very lucky to see jaguar during the day and the night. Wow,
Cool. Well, this is a very interesting question. I have to say, a very clever one, because I think there is some difference between the south and the north Pantanal. I think the main difference, remember that in my presentation, notice that I told best place to spot jaguars by land. The experience in North Pantanal, the mainly one to see jaguars, is by the river, by boats, yes. And there is a park there, a park that is open for everyone, you know. And then you have the boats, and when a boat see a jaguar, they call by radio the other ones. But it's a park open for everybody, but it's by water, by boat, by river when you see. And the experience that we offer in Caiman, because our location is by land, by car. So that is the main difference. So in North Pantanal, of course, all the Pantanal, it's really wild. It's unbelievable wild. But in the north is something that it's not so private. Like we have 53,000 hectares available just for our guests, you know. So the idea is to be more exclusive. So I think this is the main difference between them. And I would say that you can have both experience if you want. But if you do so, I would suggest to start with the north and then go to the south and stay with us at Caiman.
Actually, Karen is asking if there is another lodge that you would combine with Caiman. So would you suggest to combine maybe the north then? Or there is nothing of your level yet, I would say, in the Pantanal
I
area
would say that is not
yet. So
still, we don't have that is nothing like us. No, with
better
our
to combine with a different area, with Bonito or with
exactly.
totally different. That's what I would say.
So because of that, it's a must to finish with Caiman, because it's, you
That's
go
gonna
in
be
a
the
crescent.
experience.
Yes.
Hope wants to know if you're on property. So I know today you're not, but you are sometime.
No, actually, I go often to Caiman, of course. Next week I will be there, for example. But I'm located in São Paulo because I work with sales. I deal with the clients and do all the promotion as well. So in São Paulo, it's easier for me to travel, to meet clients, to have very good international internet connection that we are having now. So I'm based in São Paulo, but I go often to Caiman.
Marion wants to know if the food is à la carte or buffet, because we saw on the video that we have a buffet. It's always
a buffet.
Voilà. Ilan, you want to know what's the length of the recommended stay? What would you say?
Well, I would say at least 3 nights, because when it's a truly safari experience that you have the opportunity to do 2 games per day, one early in the morning and another one in the end of the afternoon. So if you stay like 2 nights, you have just one entire day, and it doesn't, you don't have, because okay, we have a beautiful lodge, a beautiful and comfortable structure, but you won't travel so far because of it. You're gonna travel much because all the experience, all the wildlife, yes, all the experience that we offer. So because of that, we say it's mandatory at least 3 nights. Okay.
All right.
A 3-night stay.
Want to know if they have previously catered for kosher guests on the food perspective. Do you have kosher?
Repeat, please.
Kosher guests. If you have previously catered for kosher guests, just at least for the food, would you be able to prepare or kosher, or maybe more for a buyout or?
Yes, not a buyout, and everything. We can attend all kind of clients. We just need to know in advance.
Perfect.
We have of course, gluten-free, gluten tolerance, vegans that are increasing. Kosher depends, because if it's like the kosher that really need the
or the chef and
exactly, then not, because it's just one kitchen. Maybe in Baiazinha, yes, that you have a small group.
Maybe
but if not, so we can attend just to know in advance.
So hope you're actually suggesting Cristalino Lodge in the Amazon that can be combined, and you don't have the Jaguar.
Yes, can
but
be.
Then you see you have something else, and you keep the Jaguar for Cayman. You're gonna see them at 98%.
Yeah. Cristalino, it's a different. It's Amazon, and Amazonia, it's quite different from Pantanal. There you have a forest, and people sometimes expect to see a lot of wildlife, and a lot of wildlife is not possible because it's a closed forest, Okay, you can see birds, you can see the monkeys, of course, alligators, but it's much more the experience in the nature, all the nature of the forest mainly, And when you think about wildlife, about safari, then you're gonna find it in Pantanal.
Thank you. Well, now you want to know, so we said 3 nights minimum. you wanted to confirm that the meals are included, but the alcohol is not included.
Is alcoholic and soft drinks.
Which are not
Juice,
included.
water,
Alcoholic,
yes, it's included.
Well, non-alcoholic are included and alcohol are not included.
Alcoholic and soft drinks are not included.
Okay, and also perfect. Huh? So would you be, Werner would like to you if you could send him the pricing, send everyone the pricing maybe when you're sending the video. Huh?
Yes.
Recording. Perfect. So we have done all the questions. Thank you. We are way beyond our 30 minutes, but it was fascinating and it's still a new product for everyone. I'm glad, hope that you had the chance to see it. And many of you, I'm sure, hopefully you will be passing by. If your trips are taking you to Latin America in general, I think would be nice to stop and check Caiman. Huh? Thank you very much, Christina. And
thank you.
Sherry, you said thank you. Thank you, everyone, for staying that long with us. And Christina will send you shortly the recording and all the information. Huh? Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Christina. Bye.
Bye.